I want to take a couple minutes to talk about Simon the Sorcerer from Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, because there's a quote or an aspect that he relates that I myself have personal experience in. The only person standing in your way is you. It's a quote by Vincent Cassell. I've had this quote posted on a sticky note everywhere I go. It's within my closet, it's within myself, it's within my psyche, and it's something that I myself have come to realize that the only person who stands in my way is myself. And as we saw, Simon the Sorcerer in Dungeons and Dragons, whenever he would put on the crown, he would be facing an older version of himself. And it's like, hey, yeah, you can't do this. You can't summon all this magical power. You're weak. You can't do XYZ thing. You can't defeat the sorcerers. You can't defeat the dragons. You can't defeat any of your enemies because you're weak and you can't do that. And he's like, yeah, he agreed. He agreed and he trusted that, and that's who he thought he was. And then when push came to shove, he was able to be like, you know what? No, that's not who I am. I'm going to stand up to myself. I'm going to punch myself in the face and be like, no, dude, I don't back down. Like, this is me. You're not standing in my way any longer because I am stronger than I have ever known. I just had to have somebody else show me that that was true. Because too often I myself have needed people such as Edwin Darvis, Chris Pine's character in the movie, to give me that encouragement. I had a guy named Steve who would helped me see how strong I was at the gym. He helped me increase my bench. He helped me increase my squat. He helped me increase my deadlift, 1 to 500, 1 to 425, and 1 to 300. He helped me with all of these things to show me that I was stronger than I thought I was. It's something that I knew like inherently deep down, I just didn't believe it 100%. And that's why when I have other people in my life that do push me to go to that next level, that do help me, it's still me. Like, I still have to overcome myself. Anybody can tell me like, oh, you can make $10,000 a month, or you can make this many phone calls, or you can talk to this many women, or you can have a girlfriend, or you can go out and make whatever you want out of your life. And it's like, yeah, I can do that. And that's where like there's a potential that comes into it, but it's also like it's not really a potential. It kind of is, it kind of isn't. And that's where that whole aspect comes in, is because it's like I can do anything that I want to do, as long as I'm able to overcome myself. Because there's a book also called The Mountain Is You. I haven't read it yet. I've listened to a couple of them. It's essentially, at least from what I've understood, is like the mountain is you yourself. You have to overcome yourself before you can do anything else in this world. And self is the hardest one to overcome, because self knows us better than anybody else. And this is why I believe everybody should do sales, because for me, doing sales and me being able to sell other people on ideas and have conversations, it's helped me to be able to sell myself. Because when we think about it, our self knows us better than anybody else does. So it'll make up any excuse in the book that we are like, yeah, I guess I could have that cookie. Or you know what, I have done really good this past couple of weeks. I am going to be able to watch pixels on a screen. And it comes up with all these rationalizations because our mind knows what we will succumb to. So that's why when we're able to overcome ourselves, such as Simon did in Dungeons and Dragons, it allowed for him to unleash his full power. He always had this power within him. He just had to overcome himself first. It's why I have my own personal coach. It's why I do coaching. It's why I listen to therapists online, such as Healthy Gamer GG, which if you guys have never watched him, highly recommend his content. Incredibly valuable. It's completely changed my view on so many things. And it's all because I decided to conquer self. As I've started to conquer self, as I've started to understand self, as I've started to become closer to self as well too, I've been able to do podcasts. I've been able to release these videos every single day for the month of December. I've been able to understand things and have communications and feel my emotions in ways that I never was able to feel them in the first place. And it all stemmed from me being able to face myself. So if you're struggling right now, as I once was, as I still continue to struggle, I should say, and it's not in the same ways as it once was, it's just sometimes there's always processes and grieving, and like just letting go is somewhat painful, which you guys can always look at my letting go video that I did from Attack on Titan at the end of this video. If you want to see a little bit more around what Mikasa did with Eren, more than welcome to check that out. We can look at how what Simon did was he overcame himself. And as he overcame himself, he became free of the burden of worrying about what other people were thinking, worrying about if he was doing the right thing or the wrong thing, because he was able to just be who he was, the strong, independent person that he has always been. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I hope you can do as well too, from my videos and from my content, because I do take a much different approach from other people out there that do create pop culture content. I do it from a much more open and optimistic way to hopefully help you improve your life in ways that you never thought possible. Because we're watching these movies, we're watching these animes, we're watching these shows because we relate to an aspect or a character in said series. And once we understand that we are similar and we are like them, we can do the exact same things that the character has done to help us overcome our struggles, our tribulations, and our trials. The difference between real life and a movie is a movie happens in 2 hours, sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 hours. Same thing with an anime, happens in 20 minutes. So we expect our lives to be the same way. Whereas in our actual life, it takes time to change. It takes weeks, it takes months, and it can even take years to finally get to that place that you want to get to. It does come from, one, learning yourself, two, like facing your demons, facing yourself every single day, and realizing that you will not succumb to the persuasion, the defense mechanisms, or the past traumas that maybe you have experienced. And what you'll do instead is you'll face yourself. You'll look at yourself in the mirror like I have done, stare at that person, just look at them and just wonder, like, okay, what areas can I improve? Where am I lacking? What can I do differently? What do I need to feel that I'm not feeling right now? And as we do that, we'll start to grow as people, we'll start to grow as individuals, which that will then create a snowball effect where everybody can start to overcome themselves. Everybody can have the powers that Simon the Sorcerer had in Dungeons and Dragons. And with that, we can all become much better, much stronger people who can reach our goals, who can achieve the things that we want in life. It just comes back to being able to conquer ourselves. As we conquer ourselves, everything else will become easier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different approach that I have done. Well, kind of a little bit of a different approach. If you do like the video, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel so you never miss another one of these videos, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.